Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, my name is Cambry, and my husband is Herbert, and we are debt-free nomads. In the previous episodes, I've talked about how we made our transition from our 9-to-5 jobs into full-time RVing to where we are now, where we are property owners as well as people that travel for work. So where I left off in the last episode was where we were in, I always want to keep calling it California. We were in Colorado working for this family that owned cabins up there. And again, it was a wonderful job. It was very low stress. It just, the pay was not really sustainable for what we needed. August of 2024, we reached out to our current company, which is the same company that we have worked for off and on since 2021. They decided that, they could utilize us and would love for us to come back, so that's what we did. In September of that year, our current company flew us to their home office, and we went through initial training. We needed some retraining because it had been a couple of years since we had worked there. Quite a few things had changed. We drove from where we were to Denver and then flew in very briefly and got to go in, get some retraining, and then flew back to Colorado. I think we stayed for maybe just a couple more weeks in Colorado and unfortunately had to leave a little bit earlier than we had contracted with the family. And we felt bad, but at the same time, we had to do what was right for us, mainly financially. We had to do what was right for us. Left Colorado and we drove, it was over 1,000 miles that we had to drive to get to the home office of the company we currently work for. We got everything situated, hit the road, and we had a route, and we were on that route for 10 weeks, I think it was. It's during the fall, as I mentioned in the previous video. During the fall is the busiest time with this company that we work for. So we had a route, and I want to say it took us through like 22 states doing this particular route. And we worked clear up until Thanksgiving, give or take, of last year. Last year meaning 2024. And then we were off. We were off, say late November till early February. And that's just kind of how this particular job that we have, that is a really, really slow time, which is fine because as I said in the previous video, they pretty much pay for everything for us. So that takes us into February of 2025. And in February of 2025, we started working again. Now, since we were experienced and we had been doing this for a while previously, and we transitioned well into doing it with all the new changes with the company, our boss put us to work this past year from February clear up until a couple of weeks ago in December. We actually worked the week of Christmas in Maryland. But yeah, in this past year, I'm going to say we worked about 9 months out of the year. We were on the road about 9 months out of this past year. In that time, we made a decent amount of money. We saw 34 states, give or take. A lot of those are repeats because we've been through some of them several times. We got to see a lot of places that either myself or Herbert had not seen before. We got to go to Washington, D.C., we both went through Virginia, West Virginia. We saw quite a bit of the country this past year. It was grueling. A lot of it was grueling. There's probably some jobs we may not take again. And the beauty of the company that we currently work for is that we have the flexibility of accepting or denying. whatever jobs that they send us. We did a lot of accepting this year, and the reason that we accepted so many jobs was because we had, I think, under $10,000 or even less than that, but I know definitely under $10,000 worth of debt left. We just put our heads down and worked. You know, we worked quite a bit. We finally made our last payment to any debtor in September of 2025. You know, we could have done it sooner, but we like to have a balance of living as well. So we do like to go to the casino. That's kind of our fun time. If we're not in a place where we can go fishing, then we do like to go play at the casinos. We have other things that we enjoy doing, but you know, those would be our top two things. We timed everything to where, all right, everything is paid off finally. And that was just before the fall started, where we had the fall season where it was busy. And so that brings us to where we are today. You know, we are in the middle of the downtime. We do have more work that will be coming up. At this point, everything that we bring in, aside from electric, internet, cell phone, insurance, and a little bit here and there. I mean, I've calculated it up, and I think we need less than $5,000 a year just for base bill. Anything above and beyond that goes towards investing, 401k. You know, we take care of our retirement, because ultimately we will want to retire. You know, even though we're living, as we call, a semi-retired life, it's more of a life of choice. And that is exactly where we didn't know this was going to lead us to, but here we are. And it was each one of those major or micro decisions we made along the way get to where we are today. Ultimately, that's really the end of this series. You know, touched on a lot of things. I think maybe in a future video I might talk about maybe like the phone plans we have and the way we save money on different everyday items or services. If you've made it this far, thank you guys so much for listening to me ramble on about this. But as I said in my very first video, you know, I think a lot of this information can be helpful for somebody who may want to live a different lifestyle or find a way just to get out of the rat race. And, you know, I recognize that our lifestyle may not be for everybody. You know, there are different ways to live. Again, thank you guys so much. I appreciate everything. I appreciate your time. And we'll see you guys on the next video. Y'all have a great one.